Today, we are going to find out which piece of plastic is superior than the other. So what's good, everybody? My name is Neesterhere, and welcome back to another tier list, my boys. So today, we're going to be doing the video game controllers. This is just going to be an absolute dumb fucking one, and anyone who is watching this that is maybe like above the age of 50 is just going to be completely fucking stunned at what the hell is going on here today. These like 14, 15 pieces of black and gray plastic, we are going to know, are they good or are they pretty dog shit? So we got 5 tiers here. We got absolute legend, all reliable, it's fine, I guess, pretty stinky, and then also lick my ass. So up first, we have probably the weirdest one on here, and that is the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. Now, I don't know where the fuck to begin with this one, because this one is probably the hardest one on the entire list, because I could totally see it going in absolute legend, and I could see it going in lick my ass, because it's fucking insane just what it can do and the amount of shit that it has. Like, the capabilities of this thing are fucking endless. First of all, this is probably the least durable one on this entire list. These break just normally. Like, that's not anything weird. Like no shit. I have controllers for a PlayStation 2 that I've had since like 2006, and they still work a treat. But my fucking Switch controllers that I got in 2017, I have replaced them maybe 4 times a pair. They are dog shit when it comes to reliability, and also they're probably the most expensive ones on this entire fucking list, maybe besides the Wii U, because that's like not meant to be sold separately. So the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, let's talk about the negatives first. So yes, it breaks like it's nothing. They're just kind of too damn small. You pretty much have to go and buy an additional little shell for it, and playing any video games without just the actual like built-in shell is kind of really shitty. So I don't know, like the HD rumble, that's cool. It feels the best rumble-wise out of literally anything on here. It's the most immersive. I'll give it a pass because of just how nuts it is. Like the fact that you can use it, like the fact that you can literally detach it from the controller and put it onto the system or vice versa. That's kind of fucking cool. The Joy-Con is probably the hardest one on here because I really don't know where, because honestly, I feel like it belongs here, but the last thing that these fuckers are is reliable. I want to put it here, but because of the stick drift, that's a damning thing. Like that really just shits it out, because honestly, with everything on here, you only gotta buy it once, and as long as you don't actually break the damn thing, like on your own, like you smash it, drop it, whatever the fuck, as long as you don't break it, pretty much all of these have an infinite lifespan. Maybe besides like the wireless ones, just because, you know, just it dies after a while. But like, because of the stick drift alone, and also because of how small the buttons are and you need bonus components, I'm just gonna put it in, it's fine. Because it really is lick my ass and absolute legend at the same time, so we gotta have to meet in the middle. The Xbox 360, this guy, gotta be real with you, my boys, absolute legend. The Xbox 360, I am not an Xbox guy, that is the last thing. PC, Nintendo, and PlayStation all are my top 3 fucking kings, and you just got Xbox way down here at the bottom, sucking cock. I'll give you what though, the 360 controller fucking hits. That thing feels fantastic, my boys. Like, every video game you play with a 360 feels like butter. It feels great. Every button is sick. Like I don't know. And just the idea, because I grew up with PlayStation, right? PlayStation was my shit since day fucking 1. And just the idea of moving the left stick to the top left of the controller, for me, was such a baffling thing. Like, I couldn't fucking believe what I was looking at. But playing it, it feels just the same, if not better, to have the stick way the hell up there, to the point where I'm kind of thinking it might actually be better than like the DualShocks for that reason, because it just feels better. Like, it just does. Now we got the original Xbox, the Duke. Oh boy. So, the Duke, my lads, yeah, lick my ass. So, this controller is just a big, meaty, fat fucker. Like, this literally feels like you're holding a sandwich when you hold this damn thing. First of all, the Duke, as it's called, it feels like it weighs like a pound. It is like a foot long on both sides. Like, it's literally like the Wii U before the Wii U, except for all the cool bells and whistles. Like, this thing is just way too damn big. Like, I'm sorry, but it is just way too fucking big. The buttons are kind of really far apart. They got the actual action buttons themselves have like a really weird, like, kind of oval shape to them. Like, I don't know. It's probably the one on here that I have like the least amount of experience with. I'll give you that. I'll give it that the benefit of the doubt. I'm really not feeling it. The Super Nintendo. Okay, so the Super Nintendo, it's okay. The dog bone, I think is what it's called. It's not too bad. You know what I mean? It's just kind of basic. It doesn't do anything. Like, it really is just like a NES controller or an NES controller, just without the sharp ass corners. And that's all right. It's just okay. It has a D-pad. It doesn't even have an analog stick, which, you know, at the time, obviously. But, like, when you compare it to these giants that are coming up, you can't really give a simple D-pad that much credit when you got the, like, shit like that's coming later. You know what I'm saying? For the time, this is probably the best you could have gotten. but 2023? Fuck you. The DualShock 4, PlayStation 4. Now, this guy, fucking immaculate. But there is one thing that I'm going to heavily diss it on, and that is the fucking touchscreen. No, there's two things. That is the touchscreen and the big-ass LED light in the back. Both of which are next to fucking pointless. Like, out of the first 4 controllers, the 4 might be the worst. It's really tied with the DualShock 1. I'd probably say the DualShock 1 is probably worse than the 4 just because of the limitations on the time, but at least the DualShock 1 didn't come with any pointless shit. Like, there is so much with the PS4 controller that just doesn't fucking need to be there. What games even have the, like, touchscreen capabilities? Like, what actually, like, is there any, like, actual big hitters? Because I don't remember it in Ratchet & Clank. I don't remember it in God of War. It doesn't do anything. And then it also has a disgusting battery life because of the big-ass LED in the back that's literally put there just for decor and nothing else, that is just there to give your controller a dog shit battery life. When you're playing GTA and you got the police on your ass, that fucker just rapid fires between blue and red. Like, it's like it's literally designed to shit out the battery life. And because of that, I'm just gonna keep it an old reliable. I think that layout-wise, it's perfect. It's the best feeling PlayStation controller, I'd say, probably out of all of them. Oh, the PS5 isn't on here. But it's probably the best feeling out of all of them. But because of the fucking touchscreen, the death of start and select, the fucking giant light in the background, I'm going to have to knock it down at least one peg. It definitely doesn't have the problems of the Switch. You can drop this fucking... You can throw this bitch off a building and it still works. You put this one in your pocket, it's fucked. So I'm going to keep it an old reliable. I like that. The Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn, my boys. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with the Sega systems. So honestly, I'm going to put both of them, like, together. But in terms of just how they feel, I might actually keep both of them in pretty stinky. Now, and I know that that's, like, a really controversial thing because these are big deal guys, but nah. They're pretty much the exact same thing, except one, I think, has shoulder buttons and the other one has just a double layer of face buttons. It's just really not good, like, really at all, because first of all, it's too fucking huge. Similar to the Duke, it's just way too damn big. I feel, especially the Genesis, that fucker is just enormous in size. I don't know if I just got like a really shitty copy, but every time I picked up a Genesis or a Saturn controller, it feels kind of cheap. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's like super good. It doesn't feel like it's official. They both look and feel like a third-party controller, and I just can't really fuck with it for that reason. Like, it doesn't feel good. It feels kind of clunky, feels kind of weird, and it also feels kind of cheap. Yes, it looks kind of cool, I guess, but no. The Wii U gamepad. This one might be super controversial, but I'm really teetering between absolute legend because, yes, it is pointless as shit, the giant fucking screen on it. But where the Wii U gamepad succeeds, where the PS4 controller fails, is because it actually has a use. The touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad plays a genuine fucking role in almost every game that you play, especially some games like Mario Maker. No other controller on this damn thing besides this fucking goofy little bastard down here can you play a game system without the TV. Like, and it's not even a handheld, it's literally just the controller has a screen that is so fucking big that you don't even need to use the damn TV for that. That's kind of nuts. It has everything on it. It has two giant ass sticks that are super far apart, but you don't even really tell. It doesn't feel like it's super far apart. The back triggers feel great to you. Like, it's just satisfying. It's just a really satisfying thing. It's a nice big bulky fucker. The handles are in flawless spots on the back to the point where it literally just molds into your freaking hand. I just dig it. Like, I know it's super gimmicky and super shitty, but I could fuck with it, you know. Now with these ones, forgive me if I call them the wrong names, but one of these is the DualShock and one of them is just the PS1 controller, and I believe that this is the PS1 controller. So with the PS1 controller, it literally is just an SNES, but with thighs on it. That's literally what it is. It's definitely better because of that. It definitely helps. It is actually uncanny how fucking similar the controllers are to each other. It doesn't have the sticks yet, which is definitely a hindering on it. It's not, I don't know. Like, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about it, man. There's not really a whole many ways that I could say that it's just the SNES, but just feels better to hold. That's really what it is. Even the start and select, like, they are in the exact same fucking spots. It's really uncanny how they got away with that. The DualShock 1, however, goes a long way when you add these fucking sticks. When you add these sticks, it actually fucking hits. So it's fine, I guess, because it's just your average PlayStation everyday controller that looks honestly like all the rest of them do. It's good because you add those analog sticks in the mix. It makes a huge difference, and like, hey, I can fuck with it. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Now, I don't know if this is just bad luck on my end, but every time that I have bought a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, it has the exact same problems as the Joy-Con. to the point where it feels like shit. I love that the fact that the stick is in the top left similar to the Xbox. That is really nice. That's really fun. That's really keen on that. But honestly, for me at least, I've just had the same exact experience that everyone has with a Joy-Con. I got stick drift on it. And with a controller like that, you shouldn't get stick drift. Like, that baffles my fucking mind how you would do that. Like, with the Joy-Cons, I understand getting stick drift because, like, it's a gimmicky piece of trash. But, like, with this one, this is, like, the 17th controller that looks like this that was made. This should be better. So, yes, it definitely feels the best out of, like, anything on these bottom three. Without a fucking doubt, it feels the best out of all of these guys right here. But because of the stick drift, dude, you kind of fucking blow, man. So, because of that, I'm really teetering towards, like, it's fine, I guess, or just pretty stinky. Because, yes, it feels great, but it is just the most fragile piece of shit on here to the point where, in my experience at least, you are guaranteed to have to buy a new one. Just from time. Just from owning it for like 6 months, you have to buy another one. A controller shouldn't fucking do that, especially when they're $75. Go fuck yourself. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Joy-Con has, but at the end of the day, it really is just the same thing as Joy-Con. Feels better, I guess, and just doesn't really detach. Because of all that, I'm just going to keep it a tie. They're both, it's fine. The DualShock 2. Before we move on to the DualShock 2, I kind of want to move the DualShock 1 up because these are practically the exact same thing, but the DualShock 2 is honestly just a hair bit better. And the reason why I would say it's just a little bit better is because I feel like as a controller, it's more durable. Like, I feel like you can put this one through a lot more shit and it'll still come out on the other side. The plastic feels like it's better. The buttons feel like they just click better, if that makes sense. I'm really sounding like a virgin nerd here, but like, it really does just feel better. They are practically the exact same fucking thing. And so I understand if there's a lot of flack for like, oh yeah, these are actually the same thing. But like, I don't know, the sticks, I feel like they're bigger. Like the buttons, I feel like they're bigger. Like all the buttons on it, I just feel like are kind of bigger. And because of that, I think it's just better. It's just better to use. It's better to feel. Jay, I'm sorry. Fuck. This is literally just a PS4 controller with the whole, like, the only convenience is that it has a wire. Or inconvenience is that it has a wire. Get rid of the wire, it's fucking solid. Like, it kicks shit. Which is, actually, you know what? We're gonna just do the 3 now. Because these are all practically the same fucking thing. I think that the PS3 controller is better than the 4 because it actually, you know what? Fuck you. I'm putting it up here. The DualShock 3, I would say, is probably the best of the PlayStation controllers from 1 through 4, not counting 5. I would say it's the best because it does everything perfect. It does everything like it should. It doesn't have the kind of cheaper feeling of the PS1. It doesn't have the annoying wire of the PS2. It doesn't have the goofy fucking dumb shit that makes the battery life suck ass of the PS4. This really is just like an all-around perfect thing. The PS3 controller is just where everything fit. It's where everything was good. There was no dumbass gimmick. There was no catch. Hey, by the way, this happens. There was none of that. It is really, in my opinion, probably just the best of the 4 PlayStation consoles because it just doesn't have really any flaws. It even took away the really pointless analog button that you never fucking use and replaced it with a home screen button, which is fucking dope. They took the 2 and they said, all right, cracks knuckles, whips out dick, check this out. They made the 3, that thing fucking smacks ass. They made the 4, fucked everything up. So honestly, the DualShock 3, I would say is an absolute legend because it is without a doubt the best of the first 4 PlayStation controllers. Going back to Nintendo for a while, we have the GameCube. The GameCube is a heavy hitter, my boys. Like, I don't know where I would put it on here. I like, oh no, I would probably, ooh, this is tough. These 4 are hard as hell to rank. This is probably the worst just because of how goofy it is. This guy's pretty fucking solid. This guy is just good. And then this guy, actually, you know what? I like this. I like this the way it is. Yeah, this is solid. Although it looks like a piece of shit. Like, this is probably the ugliest looking fucking thing on here besides maybe like the N64. Aside from the fact that it looks like dog shit, you would be fucking surprised how good as hell this thing controls, dude. Instead of having all the face buttons be the exact same size, what they instead did was made one of the buttons fucking massive, the one that you are mainly going to hit. It's your jump in Mario. It's your gas in Mario Kart. So to have all the side buttons kind of like fiddle around it and kind of orbit around it, that is really a damn idea. And then also, probably out of everything on here, I would say it has the best shoulder buttons out of any fucking controller on here. The click that you get when you hit them can literally make me come if you did it enough. I just think that out of all these Nintendo ones so far, this one just feels the best. It handles the best. It's reliable as shit. I fuck with it, you know. The NES now, I feel really bad because this controller right here is literally like the symbol of Nintendo. Like this is, you can literally make this the logo of the company and it would look badass, right? Also, every single nerd on the planet has this on their t-shirt. Like every fucking nerd has one of these shirts. This really is just, honestly, really thinking about it, I know that it's a classic. I know that it's like the first thing on this entire list, and I know what it accomplished. But if we're combining these things with shit like the fucking 360 and the DualShock and the Wii, like, get the fuck down there. It's got a fucking D-pad, sucks ass. It has two little finicky little buttons, sucks ass. And not only that, it's a perfect sharp rectangle. There is no curves on this thing at all, which means that those two bottom corners literally do nothing but dig into your fucking palms the entire time. And even when you're playing an actual like game, like just say the basic Super Mario Bros, it still kind of sucks because B is to run and A is to fucking like jump and shit. So it's not like the SNES where it's kind of like a fucking diagonal angle where you can like hit them fluently together. This one you pretty much have to pick which button you want to press in that moment. And that kind of sucks. It doesn't have the legs like the other one does. Like I said, the bottom corners are sharp as shit. It really is probably the worst one on this entire list, which sucks because this is probably the only one on here that is like a fucking logo. Like the NES controller is just has such a like a classic look, but when you compare it to the giants above it, fuck this thing. Now we are on to the N64, my boys. Now the N64, I don't know if it's just because I haven't touched a controller like this in a long time, which is true. I haven't actually even held an N64 controller in my hand in like 3 years. But from what I remember growing up as a kid, teenage year, what I remember is that this thing kind of really fucking reeked. I really hated it. Like, I thought it fucking sucked. The three-prong thing always confused little 5-year-old me because I was like, this is impossible. What am I supposed to do here? And then as like a teenager, preteen, that kind of age, I just went from confusion to this fucking sucks. When it comes to shit like Mario 64, I get it because you don't have to use all three prongs, obviously. You only have to use whatever that game needs, which is kind of like what the Wii does. You only use certain things when you need those certain things. I get that. But with the fucking N64, it just doesn't feel good at all. Every single button on the thing is way too damn small, I feel. The actual thumbstick itself is a really finicky piece of shit. Honestly, this is also just like a perfect symbol, but I'm really thinking lick my ass, man, because like it just kind of sucks when you compare it to what's above it. And then we got this goofy fucking thing. I don't even really know what this is for. I think this is Dreamcast or some shit, but like, I remember this from time ago. Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on this because I've only played something on this like maybe like 4 times in my life, but those memories fucking stuck. And honestly, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Yes, it feels definitely better than this piece of shit does, but I don't know. It's just not for me, man. The Wii, my boys. Now, this guy is a fucking powerhouse. I am gonna put the Wii controller in absolute legend. It's not as good as the GameCube, I don't think. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'd say it's better than the GameCube just because of the amount of shit that it can do. But the Wii controller, we're just gonna pretend that it has a nunchuck with it. This thing is fucking crazy. And like, it pretty much is just a giant ass fucking Joy-Con. It's pretty much just a TV remote. But I think that is what actually makes it good. The B button on the back, the trigger, makes it flawlessly to hold. You're not just holding it like a fucking hot dog. You're holding something that feels like it's meant to be held. And that is kind of a badass thing. You can flip the thing on its side and use it like an actual NES controller. You can point it straight at the TV and play like Wii Sports and shit. The motion control on this thing is probably the only Nintendo console where the motion controls actually kind of hits. And then when you throw the fucking joystick in the mix, the nunchuck, you just literally are holding, you're literally like, what's the word? You are dual wielding controllers. And that just feels kind of badass to do. It's not just like super like reliable like what the Xbox and the PlayStation guys are, where it's just basic controller, does its job, does it well, the end. This is a gimmicky piece of fucking shit, but it's durable as hell. You can fling this fucker at a wall and it'll still work like a champ, unless you're Professor or Poof or whatever the fuck you pronounce his name. Unless you're him, these things fucking do work. Like, I got zero issue with this one. It kind of does hurt your wrist when you're playing like Mario Galaxy and you got your thumb pointing straight down at the floor and then you kind of twist your arm back up. That kind of feels a bit weird. But just as is, and the amount of shit that it can do, the Wii, I could fuck with it. What the hell is this? This honestly just looks like just the 360, but like weirder. It's fine, I guess. The Xbox One. Ugh, the Xbox One, man. I don't know where I'm gonna put this bastard. I think that the Xbox One, it feels like an actual brick in your hands. but a good brick, if that makes sense. Not like what the fucking Saturn does, where it just feels like a clunky piece of shit. This feels like a good controller. Like, it was meant to be a good, nice, solid controller, but it's just not for me. I don't think, like, the thumbsticks I'm not really a fan of. I don't know why. There's nothing really wrong with them. I just don't like how it feels. But at the end of the day, there's literally zero issues with it, besides the fact that it just kind of looks shitty. But because there's really nothing necessarily wrong with it, I just don't really care for it. I'm gonna put it at the top of it's fine. Because it's fine. It's perfectly usable. It works like a champ. I just don't really care for how it feels when you compare it to the PlayStations and the Wii U and stuff like that. Which is gonna give me so much hate, saying that the Wii U has a better controller than the Xbox One. But I'm gonna end it off right there. If you enjoyed my horrible probably takes, then leave a comment, tell me why you think it sucks ass. I know that I don't even really think I'm confident with the placements on these, but like I don't really know how else to argue with some of these. Like I don't really know what to tell you about the Duke. But that is gonna do it for this one. So if you enjoyed this shit, then the buttons are down there. You know what to do, and have a good one. So goodbye. See ya.